There we go. So, on the left side there is the Logitech StreamCam, and on my right side, it's gonna be inverted, but you probably get it, is my old trustworthy Microsoft LifeCam Studio. So this one is the LifeCam Studio, and this one is the StreamCam. Both are now running in 100% automatic mode, 1080p, 30 fps, and they are set to the uncompressed format. If you're gonna, the StreamCam, if you wanna do 1080p 60 frames per second, you will only get MJPEG kinda compressed output, but it's still good. I'm planning on showing that in comparison here. They are placed quite close to each other. I've cropped the screen. The Logitech is cropped, 960 pixels of the right side, and my Logitech, the Logitech is cropped 960 pixels of the right side. Microsoft LifeCam is cropped 960 of the left side, and if you try to just watch this, it kind of seems quite obvious that the Logitech StreamCam doesn't have a wide field of view. It's 78 degrees, but it still seems to be better than the Microsoft LifeCam Studio. I haven't been able to find a number for it, but it definitely seems to be much less. And everything auto here, both should be able to focus on it. Not doing crazy work here, but autofocus is not my main concern. Can we get maybe this one? Doing pretty good job, not terrible, but my LifeCam is definitely worse. And as you probably can see, the LifeCam is struggling. I have around 60 watt light source. It's an LED light, so I think it's 15 watts, and that is supposed to be as close to an old-fashioned light bulb going 60 watt. So it's actually pretty damn bright in here in my eyes, but the LifeCam, you really almost need studio lighting or bright sun for it to be able to get the same kind of smoothness. The Logitech is by default much smoother, and it's because it's using a lower exposure time or exposure settings. So I'm gonna turn off auto for the exposure on the LifeCam. I'm gonna leave the rest to be automatic, just so we can for now see the result of that, so we can see the smoothness and how it kind of looks when they are working in the same kind of brightness level. So open up my settings here. For the LifeCam, I'm only turning down the exposure to 6. That makes it as smooth and as bright as it can be. If you have better light, you can turn it down to 5, and you will, but it isn't really crazy different in smoothness. So I think the exposure 6 for the LifeCam is a really good sweet spot. So now we can see that the smoothness it's a little bit worse maybe on the LifeCam, but it's not a dramatic difference there. They are almost the same kind of brightness level. I don't think there's going to be a huge difference in contrast or anything. There's still a little bit of sun. The windows look really bright. They are not, and the cameras aren't pointed directly. They are pointing more a bit sideways from them. They are pointing more towards the kitchen window. But you can see there now that they both pretty much have the same contrast ratio and everything. They seem to be having a little bit interesting time with the focus. So let's fine tune them quickly to kind of try to get a better, you know, image. This isn't perfect lighting for any one of them, and it's quite grainy on the StreamCam. So if I were just to look at this one like this, I couldn't say that one has the better image quality, to be quite honest. But they're not bad in any ways. But let's see if we can turn off a little bit more of auto. So we turn down the white balance. You can see here the LifeCam, you know. Let's go for something like that. My walls are a bit green, so we need something like that. Maybe this is as close as I can get it. And let's turn off the autofocus. We're not going to try that anymore. And we can add a little bit more brightness by lowering the contrast, and we can make it, brightness seems pretty good, but let's make it a little bit brighter. There we go. And let's go for the Logitech StreamCam here and see what happens if we tune it down. So first I want to take off the autofocus. We not need it. Exposure. Let's see what we can do. It's pretty much as an optimal from the beginning here. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be adding a lot of extra smoothness going lower, so exposure 5 seems to be the the same as the LifeCams at exposure 6 here. So because if I go to 6, I don't think I can brighten it up enough to match the LifeCam in this lighting. So neither of these cameras are great at low light situation. Like, as I said, like I have like an open light bulb. Like this room is from, if I were here, I wouldn't want to watch a movie in this lighting because it is so bright. It's definitely is bright, but you know, to get a max out of any of these cameras, web cameras, you need some kind of lighting, like studio lighting, bright coming from behind the cameras to help them really. But not everyone, and you know, want that, has room for that, has money for that. So but like for streaming, I'm gonna show that, you know, we're gonna have a small window. You're probably gonna be fine even with this kind of a little bit of graininess, so not crazy. So let's see the white balance. What do we want now? There's more white balance settings here. This seems to be pretty close. There's still a little bit of a difference there, but pretty close. And they seem to be actually, so the white balance is 5000 flat on my LifeCam, and it is just like 4970 on the Logitech StreamCam. So they are pretty the same values there, but you have more, I feel there's more fine-tuning available on the StreamCam, but they both offer a nice wide ratio, and the contrast is different on the StreamCam. Oh my god, that is, what? Yeah, that is not working. I can't use the contrast on the StreamCam. Holy crap. Wow, that's completely useless. Yeah, don't touch the contrast slider on your StreamCam. Unless you're gonna go up, that works kinda. But going down, you get this weird, this is not how it should work. That's a big disappointment. Do not touch the contrast slider on your LifeCam, on your Logitech StreamCam. It works fine on this, on the Microsoft LifeCam Studio. It, you know, it brightens or darkens, you know, the contrast there, so it works fine. It's worthless on the StreamCam. That was really disappointing. backlight compensation. Okay, you can turn it on or you can turn it off. Maybe it could work in low light situations to help the StreamCam. Maybe, possibly. You have a gain slider. That is what you can use to, instead of the contrast, I guess, to kind of darkens the scene a little bit. But you can't really brighten it. It is as the maximum brightness, like the brightest contrast it can achieve in a natural way by default. A little bit disappointing here, but yeah. And the brightness slider, we can make it a little bit brighter. I want it to like, it's kind of close. Let's try. Well, I think this is as close as we can get. The saturation seems to be higher on the StreamCam. Maybe. Well, it has a more reddish tint, and there's a little bit more yellow tint on the. You can see that if I try here. It's a little bit more yellow tint, a bit more natural, I feel, on the LifeCam Studio, and a bit more reddish on the StreamCam. It seemed to be at a nice neutral saturation by default, though. And the color seems to be about the same, but it is a bit, yeah, it is a bit of reddish there. So this is as close as together of the quality I can get. Like, it's all right, but I think that the LifeCam might be better. But here you can see the difference. More red here and more yellow. Seems like the more yellow tint is the more correct. Can I filters? Do we have a color correction quickly? Gamma, contrast, brightness, saturation, hue shift. That's more like it. So by adding just a tiny bit of trying to match here quickly in OBS. I think it's still a bit red, right? Okay, let's just. That's pretty close. So you can add like a little bit of a hue shift filter if you want to get rid of the redness of the StreamCam, or you could obviously, if you're recording, you can add that in post-processing and stuff like that. But now they are pretty damn close, and I think that the LifeCam just by default actually has a little bit more natural color to it, more, you know, a little bit more warm natural tint, and the StreamCam adds a little bit of redness to the image. But looking at the walls, it seems pretty close. The green might be a little bit, you know, high saturation on both of them. The blue on my poster seems pretty damn close. They're pretty damn natural lighting here right now. It feels pretty damn great color-wise, just the correct color of them both. But you had to add a hue filter to a Logitech StreamCam. But if you're running this is like in 1080p 30 FPS, like the LifeCam Studio, I'm trying to see a big like difference in quality, but they seem to be like, when it comes to like fine grains and details and everything, it seems to stack up really great, and that is kind of sad because I think I've had my LifeCam Studio for what, 8 years? 6 years at least? Probably at least 6 years. And this Logitech StreamCam has been out, what, 1 year? Oh, come on. That's kind of crap, to be quite honest, but quality isn't my main reason for buying the Logitech StreamCam. It's because it was on a reasonable price. It has 60 FPS, I'm gonna show up soon. And because after this many years, my Microsoft LifeCam, now and then if I move it around, it has some kind of issue with the cable where it kind of disconnects, so, and you know, freeze the camera. So if my LifeCam could have had like a replaceable USB cable, I would have kept it. Like it's a badass camera still, and you can still buy it in Sweden, I think, for, you know, around $60-65 or euros. So it's like hell of a price worth camera. If you just want to do some nice light, you know, hobby streaming, you can get it, and it's gonna be perfect. You know, if you resize, you know, I'm gonna show it later on here, like in a smaller frame, image size on the screen, it's gonna look great, man. Still great camera. Logitech was on sale for $120 to $130 or euros. It's pretty much somewhere in that range. So it's half the price for the LifeCam Studio today, and it stacks up to a camera that was on sale double its price in 30 FPS. We're gonna go into 60 FPS to kind of see what we can get. But I'm not overly impressed with the StreamCam. It's nice. It looks fine. It has a nice shape. I know that some of the reviewers said that it has this, you can flip it so you get a vertical, and that sucks ass. No one's gonna use it. I'm gonna use it. When I'm doing VR here behind me, I want a vertical. It make me, you know, me fits more in the frame, and I want more vertical picture. And when I'm just gaming, you know, regular on my monitor, I want it flipped the other side. Maybe I might keep it all the time on the vertical, because then I want more like the cube or 4.3 format. You know, just frame. I don't need a wide view of my room, which is not aesthetically pleasing as a background for stream, but it's just a hobby. So and I don't need a huge vertical for that matter, so that's the plan. But this is just to show you some image here. Why not? Since I still have the LifeCam, probably gonna get rid of it for some reason, because you don't want a stream cam or web camera that if you're recording something or whatever, that it suddenly can stop if it's in a bad angle for some reason. That has happened to me, that I was recording or I was streaming something, and then I look and I see that my camera is frozen, and when it freezes, I cannot get it back. I need to pretty much, you know, twist the cable a little bit, and then I need to turn off the computer, and then it, you know, kicks back up and it works. The Logitech StreamCam also have a fixed cable, so not sure how well that will hold up. We'll see. I wonder if I can do something here. Some cool stuff. Let's do some secret stuff here first. You never know. And can I do... Maybe. Let's see if we can... Can they? You kinda... Little bit, maybe, to see how they look there. It's too bright. Could have been fun if I could have just showed them off how they look side by side. The LifeCam is more of a tube form, much smaller. The LifeCam is a cube form, bigger, but I don't want to move my, you know, obviously my LifeCam to show it off. So because then it might stop working and pretty much would ruin my video here. But let's kick in the StreamCam into 60 FPS and see what if you can see the smoothness here. Now obviously they will not be using the same format. The Logitech StreamCam will then kick in MJPEG, which will compress. It can be good, can be bad, because compression can sometimes mask grain by, you know, making things look softer. But let's see, we change this to MJPEG. And then we switch to 60 FPS. Right. Looks pretty close still here, so do you see a difference in smoothness? To be quite fair, I'm gonna have to like look closer, but it's not a huge difference here. This is a more of a yellow tint here. Still, my filter should still be on, so it seems like, yeah. So going from 30 to 60 adds even a little bit more of redness to the StreamCam. Kind of weird. Like there is more, like you can see more of the movements kind of here in the way, but you can also see a bit of distortion when you move it there. It looks kind of weird going on here. It's not, if you look at my fingers, they start looking very small. So the 60 FPS mode here isn't crazy good. And then we do here. There's not the same. It's not really making my hand distort in the same way. You get a bit of blurriness, but to be quite fair, it's not. This looks kind of weird. I don't think I'm gonna use the 60 FPS mode. This is even more depressing. It really is distorting my hand here. Whoa. And it's definitely not the same. There is a bit of distortion going on there, like it making that, but if you look at it, really makes it looks like really tiny in quicker movements. There it's very obvious. Wow. Yeah. The Logitech StreamCam. It's kinda not great, to be quite honest. It's still just barely keeping up with the good old Microsoft LifeCam Studio, which I got for, I think, around 80, maybe $90 or euros. As I said, 6 to 8 years ago. Can I check something? Whoa. Hopefully it didn't crash. Nope, good. What I wanted to try to check is quickly if I can see like my like, let's see. If we try this one, let's just see if I can get to the bottom here to see like how old is my LifeCam Studio. I probably can do this in a better way. I'm pretty sure I can, but I'm doing this the lazy way because, well, I feel a bit lazy here today. But I think I'd actually recommend you to go for the Microsoft LifeCam Studio if you can get it for cheap still, and if you are prepared to do manual, you know, tweaking. The LifeCam Studio, no, the Logitech StreamCam will do a better job full auto if you don't want to do anything. You just want to plug it in and you want to go. So yeah, it's at least 6 years old, my LifeCam Studio camera. At least. And the StreamCam came out 1 year ago. That's kind of disappointing. So this, like, the leap in web cameras and their image quality is pretty shitty. I do know that there is one camera, AverMedia 513, I believe, that is supposed to be a lot more better when it comes to web camera quality, but that is in Sweden like double the price from the StreamCam. So I didn't really feel that, and also I believe that you should have extra good lighting for that to work, and really take advantage of it. And I said I don't have a studio lighting, and adding a studio lighting or something would probably make even these cameras much better. But let's make them. First I'm gonna turn off the 60 FPS because it doesn't really add anything, especially not when you're streaming. It's kind of fucking weird. So there we go. Let's make them smaller. So something like this maybe. And let me turn off first transform. There we go. Whoop, and then there we go. And here we go. So something like this is maybe what you're gonna using, vertical or something, and you're probably, if you don't have a nice background, you know, like a bookshelf with nice books or game covers or DVDs or movies, or, you know, nice like figurines or stuff like that, you're probably not gonna show this much. So, you know, you're gonna make a smaller box, crop them up. But like this, they both look really great. The graininess, you know, obviously gets shrunken down. The motion isn't really as much. They both really great. But I still think the LifeCam is a fucking awesome web camera if you think of the price. You know, if I got it for like $80 6 to 8 years ago, and the StreamCam today on sale $130. It doesn't really seem to justify 6 years newer camera, double the price, and not double, but you know, it's a difference of $40-50 compared to the original price of the LifeCam and the StreamCam today. Well, hopefully this gave you something. Let me remove this one. Let me do this. Maybe it will give you some insight if you're going to get it, or, you know, whatever. Let me turn off quickly my light behind me here to show you. So now we are in an even darker environment here. Most likely my LifeCam could not do this. So in this kind of lighting, the StreamCam wins. Maybe you want to see that, so what the hell, why not? Let's show you that. There we go. So this is, with the same settings, my LifeCam, and this is the StreamCam. So the StreamCam, when you're going for really crappy lighting, it holds up a little bit better, but still, this is not what you wanna. This is not an image you would have wanted, and this still seems to hold up pretty good. But you wouldn't want this one. But the problem, or the advantage, is that with the LifeCam we can tweak the contrast ratio, You can bump the brightness, and it can be even better. It's grainy as hell, but it's still usable. Kind of, you can still see more compared to this one. And you can't really tweak the contrast in the same good way with this one. So the LifeCam, and if you were to do this, it would still work. As it's a good, like the LifeCam is an awesome, good starting, streaming recording camera. Really, still today, like this still is usable, and it's a crappy lighting. I have only one little light in the corner. The sun is pretty much soon gone. If you can find the LifeCam for a good price, and you just want to do some light hobby, recording, video, stuff like that, it's better choice in my opinion than the StreamCam. StreamCam, good option if you can find it for a good price. It's good at automatic settings. But it's a little bit disappointing, to be quite honest, to look at the little corner, the LifeCam, 6-8 years old, maybe even older. I don't know when it came out. And it still matched a newly released camera aimed at streamers. Something is very depressing when it comes to web cameras, but I hope someone of you enjoyed this little bit of a show-off video. I will be switching, since I said my LifeCam's cord is not, it's starting to lose connection. So, but yeah, hope you help someone here to, insight in the StreamCam in lower light conditions and stuff like that. And maybe if you have a LifeCam, you can see a little bit of how they compare to each other and stuff like that. So yeah, I just wanted to show this since I have them both at the same time. Why not? A little bit showing off, talking and stuff like that.